Welcome to my Chamber of Healing collective. I'm gonna do a general reading, so of course take what resonates and leave what doesn't, because if it doesn't resonate for you, it might resonate for somebody else. I hope you are well. I hope you are happy, healed, healthy, wealthy, and this is just going to be a quick message regarding whatever wants to come out. So I'm using a few oracle decks and I'm using one tarot deck, and there is a sense of there's a few conflicting messages here. During this time, you might be unsure of if you're meant to embrace more of a relaxed nature or if you're meant to just go wild with a sense of adventure. But there is a message for both of these qualities right now. I pulled two messages from the unicorn deck, and the first one we have is balance. Vibrant oranges here with butterflies, and it says take time to relax, indulge a little more or less, set boundaries with your work. So you could be focusing on if what you're doing is in a balanced state right now. You could already recognize if you are leaning more in one direction than the other. You might be craving a sense of adventure. Maybe you want to go somewhere really snowy or with mountains. Maybe you want to go to Iceland with the what are they called? Northern Lights. Thank you, Spirit. And it's just this sense of like playful inner child getting on a big field where you can just run around with reckless abandon and sort of just sprinting around, just losing your head. We'd say in England, losing your head. Dare to do things differently, manifest your travel dreams, move to a new location. So you might be coming out of a state of relaxation and wanting to just shoot off. Maybe you struggle between the polar opposites of relaxing and embracing your sense of adventure. I've just seen 3:33 in the timer. Which Ascended Master is stepping for... Oh, so we're going to do it like this. We'll get one Ascended Master helping us with the message of balance, and then we'll get one Ascended Master helping us with the message of adventure. That feels like a good thing to do. For collective, can we get more information from an Ascended Master on balance? Relaxing, indulging more or less, setting boundaries. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Jumping cards only. Okay. We've got Shiva with karma release, the end of a cycle, debts are paid, choose your destiny. So you could be at the end of a cycle. I feel like this came up in the last message I did. Something similar of maybe you are being called to relax because you are at the end of a pretty big cycle. And you can quite literally decide where to go and what to do next. So maybe adventure is the kind of next step energy. Let's see. With Isis at the bottom of the deck. Reclaiming magic, call back your power and what is rightfully yours. Call back your right to balance, your right to indulge, your right to relax, your right to do anything. For adventure, we have Hilarion. His message is of divine emergence. Be seen, let the world know your gifts. So there's a transition between a cycle ending, a release of feeling like destiny is not in your hands, to being presented to the world, doing things differently than you would have done before. And we have Kalima at the bottom of the deck. Divine severance, cut the cords to dramas, fears and limitations. At the bottom of for each Ascended Master I've pulled, we had a really powerful feminine energy. For Shiva we had Isis, and for Hilarion we have Kalima. And it's interesting because they are polar opposites. So with balance, I feel like Shiva's energy is so much more powerful, not cutthroat exactly, but quick and decisive and sort of like, oh, you're done with that lesson, let's burn it away. Let's move on really quick. But balance, this card is a bit more gentle, a bit more flowy, a bit more nuanced. And then adventure is obviously kind of zoom, zoom, zoom. But then Hilarion is a really sensitive, lived in a cave because other people's energy affected him so intensely. So he's a really sensitive soul who can help you if you need to emerge from your cocoon. So it's sort of like, feels like Shiva should belong to this adventurous energy and Hilarion should belong to this balance energy, but they are sort of polar opposites. And the colours as well, the colours are matching, kind of. The colours are really matching. And then we've got, so green is significant. Green, blue, orange. Sunlight peeking through the clouds is significant here. Autumn. Iceland, definitely. Like Nordic vibes. You could be getting more sun lately, or this could be guidance for you to try and get more sun if you can. I'm gonna do something different. If this is the energy you're stepping out of and this is the energy you're stepping into, the energy moving forward, I'm gonna just do tarot in between, maybe 3 or 4 cards, to see how you're gonna get from the end of this cycle to being seen, to emerging. Emotional safety, emotional fulfillment. I talk about balance a lot on this channel, of course. Am I taking these cards? Balance. I turn around and it's the Temperance card. So we've got the 10 of Cups, Temperance, 5 of Pentacles, 9 of Wands. Eight of Cups. No, that's not the 8 of Cups. Excuse me. 8 of Pentacles, the Empress, the World. So obviously you know where you are in this curve of a storyline in between, in the transition of the cycle ending and the emergence, whatever that looks like for you, and in between the embracing balance and seeking adventure, wherever you are on that scale. That was my shoulder. Wherever you are on that movement of the pendulum. So it's a strong presence of a guardian angel here, and so the 10 of Cups can represent a loving relationship, a loving home life, but it can also represent a happy inner child, healed inner child, a healed emotional, full emotional wellness, at home, in yourself, in your environment, and there's a sense of I've done it, you know. There's a sense of you know, I've worked hard on all of these 10 cups and now I'm in a place where I feel balanced. Again, it could be in self, it could be in connection to other, but then also this perfection of balancing heaven on earth. You've got 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on land, and you are learning balance and moderation with temperance, and what is this what is this energy that I'm feeling? So it feels like, for the most part, there is this aspect of the spread has been perfected in terms of it's mastered, not perfected, it's been mastered. And then when it comes to these oracles, there's just these little tweaks that need to be resolved with the Five of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands, like wounded warrior, lack of safety in doing things differently, clinging to the struggle because you don't know what the other side feels like. And the Nine of Wands, she's sort of like really on the edge of her rope. She's really on the edge of her rope. She's one wand away from just complete collapse, exhaustion. But it's almost like these energies don't really match with this energy. So I don't know if there's something that's not being seen. I'm getting a reference to the secret third option of, you know, is it plan A or plan B? There's a secret third option. I think the end of the struggle, the end of the cycle, things don't have to be so hard, and things are feeling a bit too hard, but it's like in destiny, in your destiny, there is no going back to the previous cycle, but it seems to be what you're used to. Emergence, adventure, being seen, moving, maybe connecting to people who are similar to you, soul tribe members. These are all waiting for you, but there's sort of like the energy of previous cycles lingering to some degree. Where should I go with this part of the reading? It's very much a case of clearing out some residue, maybe even defensiveness in between this cycle and the next one. It's almost like I'm seeing a visual representation of the freeze response in the nervous system. If you know anything about nervous system regulation, awesome. If you don't, and you resonate with this part of the message, I would definitely look it up and look up if you resonate with the freeze response. It is the notion that you can't really move forward because you are just frozen. Because freeze was a safe mechanism, probably growing up or something, and now that's no longer safe. You're a bit stagnant, you're a bit Five of Pentacles-y, maybe missing out on opportunities, maybe struggling with health, struggling financially, you're a bit defensive. This sense of adventure, this coming out of the cave that really wants to happen for you and is pretty close to being here, is sort of not really coming through until the nervous system and the body knows it's safe. But with Temperance, you have what it takes to overcome. Temperance is obviously the major arcana. So major arcana is life events that are pretty unavoidable in the storyline of the Fool, right? But the smaller minor arcana, the smaller storylines, very easily moved through. They're just sort of frequencies for you to be aware of. They're not necessarily set in stone. This is kind of just where you're at right now. Where should I go from here, Spirit? yeah, it's almost like I don't know what to do from here. I don't know what extra message wants to emerge, but I don't want to leave you here. Oh, bottom of the deck for the unicorn deck. Celebration. A positive outcome is assured. Celebrate your success, enjoy your achievements. Maybe you're the first person in your family to know what nervous system regulation is. Maybe that's your sense of wellness. Maybe that's your sense of abundance. You know. What is the outcome here? Yeah, Ace of Swords. From this reading, you could be learning about what you need to know. I dropped a card. Eight of Pentacles again. Yeah, clarity. Commitment to studying. Commitment to the physical realm where you've already noticeably seen a difference. Could be in work, it could be in health, it could be nervous system regulation, it could be this sense of adventure, divine emergence, you know, it could be regarding anything we've mentioned here. And walking away from anything that is unfulfilling. The adventure could even be some kind of solo hike. I just saw 2222 in the timer. Some kind of solo hike, because she's walking away from all of these cups and she's really set off on an adventure by herself. Kind of the similar mountains, right? Maybe you've got like a holiday coming up or something like that. And you need a regulated nervous system to accept this trip. Either you're gonna be going somewhere. This could be a surprise. I don't know, this could be a surprise. Maybe you already have a trip booked, like an outdoor trip booked by yourself, or you're gonna be invited by someone. They have mud on these cards. How do I have mud on these cards? You're learning about what doesn't serve you. Could be to do with a relationship. Oh, with the devil. Over it. A positive outcome is assured. But you've got to choose it. Your strength is in your body feeling safe, divine feminine, and then you have the confidence spiritually to do things differently, and you will emerge. Okay, imagine you're 50, 60, 70 years old and you've been on edge your entire life, and you've not known that you've been on edge your entire life. Now your body is, maybe you think that you have a physical illness because you're elderly, but actually it's just because you've been on the defense your entire life and your body's keeping a score, and now maybe you're a lot more fatigued than you ever used to be, or there's something about Scotland coming up here as well. Scotland, being by the sea. Yeah, a big thing about the nervous system regulation coming up. And a regulated nervous system might help you with any brain fog you're experiencing. The body knows how to heal itself. You have to just let it happen. And it's normal to panic when you have unfamiliar physical symptoms happening and thinking, oh my God, something absolutely horrible is happening to me. And please consult any doctor that you need to. But if there is nothing physically wrong with you, it is most likely just your body and your nervous system reorganizing itself, especially if it's a process you're already in or you're about to start after watching this video. But yeah. I hope to hear how this turns out for you. If you want to, let me know. And have a really good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. I wish you the best, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!